Steve in Indiana. Steve, you're on the air.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hey, Alex. Yeah, I've been listening for a long time. Gosh, yeah, there's so much going on. It's overwhelming. Yeah, talk about terrorists. Yes, I have a pocket constitution. I'm proud of it.
That is in mainline FEMA documents, a terrorist document. They say the Founding Fathers are bad. Ron Paul supporters are bad. Lou Dobbs, I got a Southern Poverty Law Center intelligence report in. I showed it on the TV show Friday. It shows Lou Dobbs, his picture says he's evil. I mean, just we're all evil. You don't like the bankers. You don't like the fact they have stolen trillions. You are a terrorist.
Well, it's unfortunate that these
well, they're the terrorists. I mean, give me a break. They're the criminals.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that those.
Of course, the bank robbers are telling the police, the people pointing out the bank robbers bad.
That's unfortunate that their mindset is so screwed up compared to ours. I mean,
did you hear the state police officer on the show Thursday that sent us one of the documents that's now mainstream news and confirmed? He said 90% of his Iowa, and he's a senior officer, 90% of his department knows the New World Order's real, and the government's own propaganda is what woke them up.
Yeah.
Because it says there's no New World Order, there's no foreign banks, the Federal Reserve isn't private, and then they go, wait, I know that's a lie.
Yeah. You talk about what you've said, what do you call psychological warfare crap. Yeah, I mean, big time. I mean, yeah, I'm as fired up as you are. I mean, I think it's a joke in the end. I mean, they have to be total morons to think they're going to get away with this.
Well, so far they are getting away with it. I mean, they've stolen $9.7 trillion and counting. Just absolute corruption everywhere, running rampant, doubling, tripling, quadrupling the size of government. I mean, the news I've got in front of me, it's all coming out. More of your phone calls. This is the second American Revolution against tyranny. In every case in history, when powerful elites take control of nations, they gut the economies, loot everything, and destroy the sovereignty and liberty. That's what freedom's all about, defending against banker takeover. That's what the Founding Fathers spoke about. It's now happened. And the criminals that run our government are completely illegitimate. Now, the protection of this nation's been taken away. The Bill of Rights and Constitution is in the toilet. We've got to get it back, ladies and gentlemen, and that means all of you have to get active and aggressive and speak out, and don't let the chilling effect of the establishment saying, if you talk about freedom, you're a terrorist, and protesting is illegal, and the American people are bad. No, it's the bankers that are bad. It's the bankers that claim they're above the law and run this country. I just played you clips of them in testimony saying they run this nation and they're above the law. They are not above the law. They are not God, and they are not invincible. We're on the radio. More and more stations are picking up the show. We're resisting these people. And other folks are waking up. There's a huge awakening taking place. So as crazy as all the news is, the good news is folks are starting to wake up. George in Texas, you're on the air.
How you doing, Alex?
Good, sir.
Yes. I was sitting there, with those nuts, people, there's no outrage. I was watching on My Fox Houston that all the federal money that Texas got to secure the border is not going to the border.
Of course it's not. They want, Obama's announced and Bush wanted it to legalize all the illegal aliens. That's their way to fix it, is to legalize it and further bankrupt the country.
Yes, and the other thing is I started passing out Obama deception, and believe me, I got a positive response because now it's confirming people's suspicions that they couldn't put a finger on it before.
Exactly. It's all about the banker takeover. I knew what he was going to do because I had his executive orders. Look, the film is exploding because it's about exactly what's happening. And it destroys this whole ping-pong back and forth between liberal and conservative as if the two groups don't work for the same syndicate.
Well, I just have to say thank you, Alex, for keep up the good work. And to the audience, we all encourage that the InfoWar, your participation is strongly encouraging.
Absolutely, folks. I mean, look, the only hope we've got is to get the government back, to discredit the bankers, and to call for their imprisonment. And that's why they're trying to demonize us to the police and military. It isn't going to work. The people know you're the crooks. They used to deny their world government. Now they admit a new bank of the world that will control our currencies and tax the United States. Mainstream news. In fact, I'm going to get to that. It's in the stack. Got some other news I want to cover. But meanwhile, Obama's meeting with all these mayors and telling them to go back and announce martial law to fix the economy. See how they keep floating that everywhere? They're trying to sell you on military occupation of the United States. Alex in California, you're on the air.
How you doing, Alex? It's good to talk to you. I spoke to you a few months ago regarding the story I wrote. It was linked up on InfoWars about the DUI checkpoints with the Marines in California.
That's right. You wrote a big mainstream story in the paper. We linked to it, and you talked to the Marines illegally running checkpoints for citizens, searching citizens' cars in California. Mainstream news. Tell folks about it.
Right. Well, just to give you a little background, I'm a freelance writer. I write for the Inland Empire Weekly, among other publications. I do.
Yeah, tell folks the article you wrote. It was a good one.
This story was about the DUI checkpoints out in San Bernardino, and it was on December 12th of last year. And at first, I heard it on your show, and I thought it was a rumor. People were kind of trying to discredit.
Sir, if you hear it on my show, it's not a rumor. I had the state police press release from CHIPS. I had the local news reporters on, Marines armed at checkpoints searching Americans because they've been given orders to condition the public for military occupation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I basically confirmed what you had already confirmed. I spoke to the Marines, I spoke to the CHP, I spoke to the local attorney, the radio station, TV station that covered it. It's all true, it really happened, but they're still being secretive about it. And there's actually a picture. I don't know if I can.
Because it's a violation of federal law. Did you see the Houston Chronicle 2 days ago? NAP. Now,
no,
again, a week and a half ago with the mass shooting in Alabama, I said troops are there. It's illegal. I had the colonel on. People said, "Oh, it's not illegal." It's illegal. It's illegal. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, that's the main point I wanted to get across. People can debate about it, but the fact of the matter is that it is illegal. It's a federal law that bans the military from doing these kinds of operations.
Because we know this is tyranny. People are like, well, why are you against the military? Because they fight foreign enemies. They take over. They suspend the law. Martial law. Martial law. The bankers, if they think they're doing a trial balloon for martial law right now, all over the country, troops are popping up everywhere. I had literally 50 articles the last 2 weeks with them placing regular Army in every major police department. If they're able to sell this, they're going to go ahead and bankrupt us like Argentina. I have the IMF World Bank documents. They are going to do it. They are going to take everything you got, listeners. You think the economy's bad now. If these bankers decide that you're going to bend over to take it, they're going to move. They're like a bully or a criminal testing to see if they can get away with something. So I'm going to tell you right now, you better scream bloody murder, and you better stand up for the Republic, or the United States is falling. And don't you dare tell me I shouldn't get excited about freedom. People yell and scream about football games. They yell and scream about petty issues that don't matter, and they're called patriots. But you yell and scream about a bunch of foreign bankers taking over the country and robbing it, and you're called a kook. No, I'm the sane person. Anybody that's got a problem with me, they're insane. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add to your point, Alex. It's really scary. I'm truly frightened, but I'm just so tired of all these fake liberals and conservatives, debating it and acting like it's not a big deal. I heard Rush Limbaugh a couple weeks ago, and he was openly talking about the FEMA camps, trying to say that same thing as Glenn Beck. He didn't know if they were real, but he was taking a different twist, kind of trying to.
I have all the bills. I have all the bills. I've had congressmen on. The House passed national compulsory service for military service. The House passed a national draft 4 days ago.
It's just unbelievably how sick this is, and I'm truly frightened. I just hope that everybody everywhere starts to wake up and realize what we're against. People definitely need to make their voices heard and wake up to this information. Like you said, it's all real, it's all true. We have no time to debate it anymore. It's openly out there for people to see for themselves. So I think people need to get out of their daydream, wake up.
Exactly. People think it's weird that I get upset. They're under a spell. It's weird if you're not upset about this. Sir, give folks the headline of the great article you wrote for the local newspaper so people can read it.
Perfect. It's in the Inland Empire Weekly. It's a free local magazine out in Southern California. It's ieweekly.com. The headline is Tangled Up in Blue. Got a lot of response.
Yeah, it was the cover. It was the cover. It's like the Austin Chronicle. It's the cover.
Yeah, it's the cover. It's got a cool drawing. I got a lot of awesome response from actually military and police who were saying, that if they were ever ordered to do this, that they wouldn't do it. So I think it's a positive thing if we can reach out to the people in the military and police and let them know, and a lot of them already do know, but if we can get them on our side, when and if this stuff goes down, we'll have a better chance. And it's just truly frightening. Personally, I go through battles where I don't believe it, but like you said, it's openly out there. It's a fact. We're not living in 1984. It's really happening, so people need to pay attention to this stuff. It's really going on.
Absolutely. Good to hear from you. I want to be very clear about this. Folks, I began studying history when I was 12 years old because I discovered history books were more interesting than, fiction. This is all that happens. The military always takes over under the control of some group of crooks. It happens everywhere, every time. It is incredibly rare to not have a nation taken over by a bunch of bankers in the military. You understand? This is the norm. It is happening. And I'm just a regular guy who discovered in the mid-'90s that the military was covertly paying off police chiefs so they could bring in narcotics and all sorts of other crap. Okay? I discovered all of this, I learned about it and dug into it, and now I'm probably the leading expert on it. And when you know how hardcore this is, look, it's just so amazing to know this is happening, and all I want to do is try to turn this around. All I want to do is try to stop this. You know, in fact, I have it here in my stack. I meant to get to it. PrisonPlanet.com, but it links to the bill itself and Associated Press. House passes mandatory national service bill.